I can't remember the girl's name. The race car driver girl.
Danica
Elizabeth.
Patrick?
Patrick.
Was
Danica?
it?
Danica?
How
No,
did you two end up on Danica Patrick, and I was the only one that had the right answer? Elizabeth.
Hello, my friends.
Thank you for joining us for the PEBCAK Podcast, a weekly information security show featuring some all-around good people. It is week 17 of 2025. I'm Chris Louie, and alive and well after washing all my second-story windows from a ladder. With me, I have my co-host, the Cloud God, who cleans his windows with some spit and elbow grease.
I'm just glad you didn't fall off the ladder there, buddy. And did it rain like 2 days after you finished washing the windows?
No, thankfully. It's been pretty overcast here, but no rain.
When is the rain gonna happen? Like, don't you get rain like at least once a week there?
It hasn't rained in a while, so knock on wood.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
It's California.
rain season should be over, hopefully.
It's rained, I think, twice this year, and not very
In
much of
Arizona.
that. Yeah.
Typical Arizona. You are
You
desert.
have like 0.01% precipitation, right? So
300 sunny days a year, and that doesn't mean that we get 65 days of rain. It just means we get 65 days that might have rain, but it just might have clouds as well.
and then the one day of pouring where it causes massive
Flash
mudslides
floods.
and everything. Yeah, flash floods.
And we have Glenn Medina, and nice of you to make some time to join us this week.
Thank you. I appreciate it. But I still don't understand why you think it's me, even though all I asked was, hey, I can't record at this time.
And I can't record at that time. How about this time? Oh, I can't record at that time.
Well, no, it was Deech too that couldn't record at certain times. Why are you blaming me? I always get blamed for this.
Hey, all I know is I do the scheduling, and it's always hard to find a date, especially when we have a guest.
Yeah, thank you.
But
Okay.
glad we found time for everybody.
Wham! My name's Chris. I'm a giant baby.
I know.
Just kidding, Chris. I love you, man.
All the work I
Is
put in.
this, I gotta say, is this the first time we've ever had a guest that didn't turn his camera on?
I don't know if intentionally. We've had guests turn them off because of bandwidth issues.
Sure. I'm just asking. Did I guilt him?
You guilted him. He's got the bows. I got those too. I think those are right. You got the 700s?
Yeah, well, I've got them all.
Yeah.
35s, 45s, 700s, a bunch of in-ears, sleep pod. I've got everything.
Nice. Bose fanboy here.
No, I actually like the Sony's better. That MX series is fantastic.
Well, as you can hear, our guest this week is Mark League. Mark joins the growing list of podcast guests who we would classify as bald and beautiful. Oh, and he also works with us here at Zscaler. So, Mark, would you like to introduce yourself?
I am bald at least. Yeah, my name is Mark League. I'm a sales engineer based out of Cincinnati area. In Columbus today. Been around Zscaler about 3 years now.
Ohio!
Yes, sir. Home of the Buckeyes right now.
Are they doing well? I don't know.
Started yet? Football.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, come
well,
on.
basketball season just ended, right? So I take it they didn't do
No,
well.
They did not do well.
Yeah.
The basketball season is going to the postseason. So the season's not over, but for many teams, it is.
Who's winning, guys?
March Madness? March Madness is over for
No, we're not about
College basketball is over.
NBA,
Professional
NBA.
basketball is
Yeah,
going to the
yeah,
playoffs.
Yeah.
Which our Golden State Warriors
They're
They're
not
in
going to do it.
beat the
They'll
Rockets.
be out of it
You
pretty
don't
soon.
think so?
No. It's going to be
Got a
OKC.
$5 bet that's going to turn into 80 if I win. So if they win.
No,
Go Dubs.
it's OKC. Change my mind.
OKC. Yeah, they are a very good team.
Yeah. As long as it's not the Los Angeles Lakers, I'm good.
Yeah, same.
Agreed.
Brian doesn't have to win one without his daddy paving the way.
Combined, we have decades of information security experience, and here not just to educate, but to entertain. We've got 4 awesome stories this week, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. This week, we're going to talk about TikTok's algorithm, a creep that spied on his coworkers. For our third topic, France phishes its students, and close with RSA 2025 talk. Now, before we get started, I have a cat in the room with me. This is the first time I've actually had to record with a cat roaming around. We've pseudo-adopted the neighborhood stray, so it just hangs out at our house all day. It had a collar when it showed up with no owner information, so we know it lives at a house somewhere. And then
I think it did, but you just took it off so that way you say it didn't.
No, we didn't take it out. It disappeared. So it just disappeared one day. It was like a reflective collar, which is good. You don't want to get the cat to get hit by a car. It disappeared. So we're like, okay, well, we don't want this cat being, abducted and taken to the pound since somebody owns it. So we bought our own collar, put the collar on the cat, and then literally not even 12 hours later, the cat comes back. Our collar is removed, and like a GPS tracking collar is on this cat. So it's clearly owned by somebody, and this somebody is trying to find out where this cat is going, because it hangs out at our house every day. It hangs out here at night. It sleeps in our house. And then all of a sudden, the GPS tracking collar disappeared, and we waited a week to see if it would get put back on. Nope. So then we put our own collar back onto the cat to make sure no one brings it to the pound, so they know that it's owned by somebody.
I don't think you own the cat. The cat owns you, buddy.
That's what they say. You don't choose the cat chooses you.
I hope that cat kills your rabbit, and you just realize what sort of terrible idea this was to bring a rabid cat into your house.
But the cat just killed a mouse the other day too, right? You sent us a video of that.
It didn't kill it. I wanted it to kill it because we had a rat problem here. So I'm like, well, look, we're giving this cat a good life. We're giving it food. We're giving it shelter. We're giving it love. I'm like, the least you could do is just get rid of the cats get rid of the rats.
It brought home another pet for you.
Yeah.
Something else for you to feed.
Yeah, it grabbed it in its mouth and it put it down. Then it booped it with its paw, and then it didn't kill it. So got to have a talk with this cat to have this cat earn his keep around here.
No kidding.
Yep. So we are the proud owners of a stray cat. We'll see how long this lasts. I did put an air tag. So we put our own collar on it, and it's been like a week. It's still been on. So now we put an air tag on the collar to see where this cat goes.
There you go.
So far, it's just hung around our house. Like, the cat will leave, and we do the air tag, and it's like, oh, it's in your backyard. Oh, it's in your front yard. The cat just lives here now. Just needs.
I hope the cat sits on your pillow.
hasn't gone to the bathroom indoors yet. Every time. That's why I have to keep an ear out, because if she starts meowing, then I have to open the door and let her out and do her business, just like a dog.
Yeah. So have you had this cat vaccinated or taken to the vet or anything?
No, we don't legally own it, and we think it's owned by someone in the neighborhood, because it's clearly owned, because it had a collar and it had a GPS tracking collar on it, so it's clearly owned. So we don't want to just steal this cat, but we gotta figure out what's going on with this thing. All right, for our first topic, the most recent salvo in the U.S.-China trade war is a series of viral videos spreading on TikTok by Chinese factories showing people in the U.S. just how much their luxury goods actually cost. In one video, a woman in a clothing factory shows a pair of yoga pants, and she says they make them for Lululemon and only charges them $5 per pair of pants, and then Lululemon turns around and sells them to the American consumer for over $100. They do this with luxury handbags and other high-priced clothing items. The thought here is to expose American brands to cause reputational damage and embarrassment for them. Now, why are we talking about foreign trade on an InfoSec podcast? Well, the videos on TikToks are getting tens of millions of views, but the accounts are relatively new and have very few followers. So how can these videos get so much exposure? Well, the pessimists will say that TikTok, whose parent company is Chinese-owned ByteDance, is cheating the algorithm to wrongfully promote these videos because they are pro-China and anti-US. This is one of the reasons the US wants TikTok to be divested and run by an American company, because TikTok might not overtly hack or spy on Americans, but they will influence the algorithm to push a certain agenda.
So what do you think? Do you think they'll shut TikTok down by the end of the week in order to stop this?
They got another 75-day extension, so I think either Oracle or Amazon's going to buy them.
I think if they're actually cheating the algorithm to do this, they have to be the dumbest criminals known to man.
Why is that?
Like, think about it. Like, it's glaringly obvious, right? You do have to raise the question that, like, I do think that they're actually doing that. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
I don't care. I'll be honest with you. I don't care about the prices. It's like, cool. I hope it. In fact, I hope it brings down prices for me after everything is over with, right? So if I know that my kids can get a pair of Lululemons for 50% of the cost, then heck yeah, I'm all for that. So. But have you seen how much those pants cost, or just things in general?
Oh yeah, Lululemon, Viore, they're insane. I mean, shoot, even Louis Vuitton, yeah,
all of them.
This, I mean, it's junk. It's always been junk, and I'd rather buy American if I can. Not very many options though, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That's what happens. You outsource it, and you're publicly traded. You gotta keep increasing those margins. You gotta report to Wall Street every quarter. Is there a company that's publicly traded that's just like, yeah, we don't really give enough. We're like, logically, we're just gonna do our best and just not try to cheat.
To do what? To build in America, to make everything every product they have.
Yeah. John Deere.
I don't know.
They probably make
I don't
stuff in
even think
Mexico,
that.
I bet.
Yeah. Like, I think at like one point in time, some of the like Traeger grills was made in the U.S., right? U.S. only, and then as they got more popular, they ended up outsourcing to China. So, I don't know.
Sounds like a great question to ask ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Well, if you're publicly traded, you have a fiduciary duty to your shareholders. So if you want to not give an F, then you just stay private.
Yeah. But this just goes to like the whole point about TikTok, right? It's like who doesn't think that stuff is not propped up? Like, I look at those videos and I go, oh wow. Not that I have a TikTok account. I'm just saying in general. It's like, yeah, whatever. I move on. It's like I'm just looking to see how much the price of eggs cost. So
I mean, it just seems to confirm everything that my parents told me and everything I've been saying since I was old. It's like, you're paying that much for the label.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like plain white T-shirt, $3. Plain white T-shirt with a Nike swoosh on it, $80.
Yeah.
most definitely.
Stern Ruger and Company. They're publicly traded, and they only do stuff in the U.S. Surprise, surprise. Based out of Connecticut, and they make. Stern. Sorry, I don't have my cheaters on. I can't read this, but yeah, they make firearms. Makes a lot of sense. Ooh, WD-40 is based in the U.S.
chemical company.
Yeah.
I don't know. When I was growing up, we always said, look at the label, see where it's made. If it's made in the U.S., great, support it. But I don't think I've ever found a label as of late that said made in the U.S. Have you guys ever seen anything like that? I've seen now like Vietnam, China's a lot, but I haven't seen anything like U.S. made in quite some time from a label standpoint.
I mean, I have a certain T-shirt that I wear. They have like 200 of them that is all made in America. Even the cotton is
but it's
sourced here and woven here.
Who picked the cotton though, Brian?
Yeah.
As long as it's picked in America, I don't care.
Yeah.
Hey, Snap-on tools are made in America and they're publicly traded. So there you go. A couple good companies out there.
Like WeatherTech.
Not much, but
WeatherTech's an American company.
Yeah. So, hold on, Mark's flexing his shirt. So where's that
Oh,
shirt
I couldn't
made,
see.
Mark?
I was trying to read the tag without taking it off.
A lot of companies even they shifted production. Typically everything's made in China. That's the joke. But they outsourced it even from China to India, Malaysia, Vietnam, specifically because they knew that there's potentially a trade war with China coming.
You guys remember Walmart was all made in America at one point in time, like in the 80s. I remember that.
Is Harley Davidson close?
That was pre-NAFTA.
Yeah.
Or not? Yeah, not NAFTA. WTO. China getting admitted to the WTO in the late 90s.
Yeah. So I guess the question really comes down to is what not a great reason to bring ownership of TikTok to the U.S., right? To to just get a hold on that.
Yeah.
Is that what I'm hearing?
There's another story here, which is interesting that this one popped up too. Was that I guess in Russia they figured out that there's part of the algorithm that TikTok uses is the age of the account. So if you start a brand new account, they promote it more, which may explain why these low follower accounts have gone viral, maybe. But it's also something that the Russians figured out. If I create a new account, they want you to get addicted to it. They promote it, your video, and then over time, your views will go down unless you keep getting new subscribers. This is similar. So I did not grow up in the internet dating age. I had to go out and meet people in the normal way. But what I've heard is these apps like Tinder and Bumble and all these other dating apps is if you sign up for a brand new account, you get lots and lots of matches, and that's to get you addicted to the app. Like that's, the first dose is free, and then over time you have to start paying for features to get that same level of engagement and the same level of matches. So one of the life hacks somebody gave was if you're not getting matches on TikTok, just delete your account and open a brand new one, and then you're guaranteed to get tons of matches.
Do not disturb the equality.
Fun times.
Wouldn't surprise me in the least that this is what they do. Just because when you start any kind of account, the best offers are always for new customers, and then once they get you hooked, then they don't have to give you quite such good incentives.
Wait, so do you think it's an incentive that they're boosting these accounts, and you don't think it was like orchestrated by the Chinese government or something as like political retribution? Is that the implication?
I think there's two sides to it. The pessimist would say yes, this is the CCP definitely promoting pro-China content. The optimist would say, well, this is how all brand new accounts work. All you have to do is open a new account and it'll help you go viral. And then, or it could be both. Right? You open a new account, help you go viral, but the CCP is also trying to promote it. And sure, the truth lies somewhere in between.
I think you can open up an account. We can test this. Open up an account, take one of those videos, download it, change it, maybe invert it, and then repost it and see if it gets 10 million views or not.
Not it.
Well, we'll use Glenn's account.
We'll use Glenn. Do you still have that iPhone 8? I'm not putting that crap anywhere near my production systems.
Well, I am old and I have a face like this. I am not going anywhere near TikTok.
At the next security summit, we should do some TikTok dances. Post it.
You're the face that TikTok wants, though.
I have a face for radio.
That's what we say about Brian.
It's true. Pretty hideous.
A voice and face for radio. All right, for our second topic, there's a story out of a hospital where an employee at said hospital implanted malware on his coworkers' devices. And the point or purpose of this malware was to turn on the webcams for these computers without the user's knowledge or consent. And it was also to install things like keyloggers and credential stealers to get the personal accounts of his coworkers. And he went through all this trouble just because he wanted to see his coworkers changing in front of the webcam or logging into their personal social media accounts to try to harvest some maybe not safe for work photos off of those accounts. And eventually he got caught. And now he's been charged with a bunch of crimes, not only because he was a giant pervert, but because he knowingly implanted malware into the hospital system. So hope the judge throws the book at this guy. He is a scumbag, and we're better off if he weren't a part of society.
I mean, what a great idea. Wait, time out. Didn't mean to say that out loud. I'm just kidding. wait, why are
What a
people getting
scumbag.
undressed at work? I don't understand.
It's like
I think doctors and nurses
change in and out of
they
scrubs.
live at the hospitals at times when they're on call, I believe.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, like you're in there, it's like wild, and you're like doing a colonoscopy, and the guy didn't clean himself out. You just sprayed in feces and say to go change. All right, it makes sense. Not speaking from experience.
I know. It's like, are you speaking from personal experience, Brian?
But the fact that how did he install stuff on someone's home computer, right?
No, not home computers, corporate computers. Like if you work at a
VPN,
hospital.
VPN ruined everything.
Exactly. Lateral movement like crazy.
Oh, wow.
There's no zero trust whatsoever. But it was corporate devices, and I'm sure you, Glenn, you have a corporate device, and if you got malware implanted on that, we'd be watching you unchained in your office too.
You want me to take my shirt off right now so you can see?
Brian does it enough. We don't need you to do it too.
Take my shirt off?
I need to wear that. Yeah, I need to wear that shirt that looks like Brian's chest.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But also
So
goes to show.
Did it say how you
know,
got caught? I forget. I didn't read the whole article.
I don't know how he got caught, but I'm sure this guy was not careful about his footprints, and I'm sure he was caught with like all the images and all the stolen credentials and logging into their account from his home network without a VPN. This guy doesn't sound like, I mean, smart enough to implant spyware on someone's computer, not smart enough to cover his tracks sufficiently. And also,
This guy installed keystroke loggers everywhere. Oh my god. Oh, that's how he did it. So he was getting access by. Shame on him.
and also not smart enough to know that there is an enormous amount of not safe for work content out there for free on the internet. He doesn't have to jump through all these hoops unless it was like very targeted. He wanted this one specific person.
Yeah. You've got to be really sick in the head to do something like this. This is terrible. This is
People
along
you
the
know,
lines
right?
of just out there. Yeah, this is
What
just
really
crazy.
struck me is he was a pharmacist. I mean, this wasn't a guy that was like some sort of IT administrator or anything like that. He could just walk in and install, key loggers and backdoors and that sort of thing on every machine in a hospital.
It takes all kinds there, Mark. It takes all kinds.
I shouldn't have had permissions.
We had Hajni on, a couple of times. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had him on, and him and Kobe came from the healthcare space, and both of them say, known for delivering world-class healthcare, not known for delivering world-class IT security.
What are the popular keyloggers that are out today? Are they just like probably browser based, right?
Keyloggers that are browser based?
Yeah.
No, not bro. I mean, maybe you, Glenn's hitting the smelling salts again. Every show, we think we got him addicted. We created a monster, Brian.
It's light now. It's not as heavy as it used to be, so it's better.
Well, I haven't heard of any of these keyloggers. Refrog, Spyrex, Kidlogger. That sounds sketch.
The kid logger the is the one where you're trying to protect your kids, right? It actually saves it to the clog or the cloud.
To the clog.
And then so parents,
Supposedly.
so parents can see what their kids are doing.
Oh,
Supposedly.
malicious keyloggers.
Supposedly.
Agent Tesla, Hawkeye, Keybase, Phoenix Keylogger, and Nanocore.
I've heard of Agent Tesla, yeah. And they're usually part of like info stealers as well. So if you have, like if you save your passwords to the browser, like just say save passwords to browser, then they can just grab it out of there, or you can grab session cookie. I don't even know this guy was sophisticated enough to know what to do if he got a session cookie, but just login and password, that's all you need.
I don't think he was sophisticated enough for that anyway. I mean, he wasn't sophisticated enough to know that there's logs and that he's going to be caught. You're absolutely going to
exactly.
be caught.
Yeah. And I guess the other side of it is like, I'm not victim blaming here, but just as a general rule for me, I never log into personal accounts on my corporate device exactly for this reason. Because even if my company's not spying on me, and that's a big if, somebody else could be. Like, I don't have full 100% control of this device, therefore I don't log into any of my personal accounts on this device. Or you get some rogue IT admin just throws a keylogger on there, like you said, someone upset about one of my dad jokes or something.
My little brother came over to the house and had like at the entryway, I had like this little box and it's got some stuff in there, whatever. And he's like looking at it. He's like, zero trust, Brian. Zero trust. Why is there money in here? He's like, anyone can walk in through here. I was like, okay, calm down, Keelan.
You got me.
But yeah, he said like this entire week, it's just been him just every 5 seconds, zero trust, Brian. We got to do zero trust. So, but if I were to make a keylogger, I think I would call it Silent Stroker.
What?
It's a keylogger
Pending,
used for
trademark
nefarious.
pending.
Yeah. Can you imagine? I think out of all of the malicious apps that are out there, you're probably going to download that one over Nanocore,
Tesla agent.
Phoenix. Yeah, Tesla. Like, what? They got this silent stroker?
They're gonna download it just for the name alone, and
Yes.
it's not gonna be. They're gonna go, "What is this? Why is this a keylogger? This makes no sense."
It's silently the strokes. It's getting them.
Yeah.
Keyboard strokes.
Silently capturing your
What they call that
keystrokes.
pharmacist.
I get
Yes.
it.
You can call it the farm.
Ugh.
Anyways,
For our
well,
second topic, on silent stroking, here's our second topic.
protect your endpoints. Don't log into personal accounts on corporate devices unless you absolutely positively have to.
I'm surprised the endpoint software didn't catch the keylogger. Like, come on, guys, what are we talking about here?
That or
Yeah, the browser should have caught it.
Yeah. The browser could have protected against it.
That's true, Glenn. As an expert in enterprise browsers these days, do you still use encrypted keyboard drivers to obfuscate keystrokes into the browser?
What do we do? I think the hooks are based off of the OS. I don't know exactly. I could just tell you that from an input to the browser standpoint, we can obfuscate or manipulate the data so that way it can't be detected. So unless it's a hardware keylogger, then there is no.
Yeah,
there's
it
no
can't be
keylogger
hardware,
there.
but then that means they have physical access to your box.
Yeah.
Because I used to sell a product 10 plus years ago. I sold a product, secure online banking, and that was one of the things we did. We used an encrypted keyboard driver, so if somebody was sniffing the wire, they'd just get junk, gibberish, and then only the actual destination would be able to decode it.
I'm happy to hear you enjoy the game.
Bring that back. Or virtual. Remember the F5s, Brian? They had the virtual keyboard. You couldn't physically type. You had to click the password in.
Yeah, that was a jerk move.
Especially when you
Not
have
all-
like a 32 character.
Just because it sounds good doesn't mean it practically works well.
And then you had the randomize button where they would randomize the keys, so even if someone was watching, they wouldn't be able to tell where the keys are.
Yeah,
But
F5 used to
that's
do.
kind of like a shift, right? It's like a cipher. Sorry.
My favorite one was F5 had acquired a company called WebSafe and MobileSafe, and for credential protection, like if there was like a man in the browser, if you watch the browser DOM, there was an insane amount of keystrokes being replayed nonstop. So like it was impossible to figure out that it was it was actually pretty clever because like you type in the passwords, it would go into the form, but the DOM was just like
You'd be
throw up
flooded with
everywhere.
junk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just couldn't
That'd be
tell.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was way ahead of its time.
Tear them to pieces.
All right, for our third topic, since we're done talking about Silent Stroker, France sends 2.5 million phishing emails to test their students' culpability or susceptibility to phishing attacks. And only about 1 in 12, or about 8%, took the bait and clicked on the phishing link. Now, 8% might
That's enough.
8% might sound like a lot, but when you actually apply the same test in corporate environments, it's much higher. It's about 1 in 3, or 33% in corporate environments that would take the bait and click on the link. Now, I will say there was a little bit of selection bias in this because the phishing email took the form of a cracked games lure. So it says, "Oh, click here, get download Call of Duty for free, download this cracked game for free, or whatever." So you're already like self-selecting because only gamers would actually care about this, and of that subset of gamers, only gamers that care about this particular game or cracked or pirated games would want it. So a little bit of self-selection there, but still 8%. I'm glad that France is doing this. We want to teach people from a young age to look out for scams, what are the telltale signs of a phishing attack, and hopefully training the next generation that they're going to be able to realize that and recognize that, and we won't have this gigantic wave of phishing problem that we have now.
Fascinating. Just kidding.
Like if my daughter got this email, like she's in elementary school, like if she got an email that says click here for free Call of Duty game, like of course she would ignore it. But if you do, what you want to do, you want to target something that all the kids are doing, like Roblox, free Robux or free V-Bucks for Fortnite. Like, you gotta not self-select quite so bad, and you might get a higher hit rate on that.
You know, I tell my kids, you know, what's your favorite saying, Chris?
If the product is free, you are the product.
You're the product, yeah. And there's no, and I tell my kids all the time, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. It's not real, right? So, yeah. And then I think my daughter got that smishing attack. She got a smishing attack.
The fast track one.
Yeah, the fast track one, and she goes, I think I got a ticket. And I'm like, why do you think you got a ticket? Well, I got a text that says that I owe, and I clicked the link, and I'm like, oh my God, what is wrong with you?
Oh no.
And she says, well, why? And I said, is the car registered in your name? And she says, no. And I said, so why would they ever get a hold of you?
Yep.
Yeah.
And she goes, oh.
I think they could have gotten more traction on this article if it said like 1 in 12 students is a master clickbaiter. Like, I think this would have gone viral. Yeah.
1 in 12 students will install Silent Stroker.
I'm telling you guys.
Trademark pending.
I'm going to patent that now.
Yeah.
So,
Between the smishing ones on the speeding ticket and then USPS is like the other one I've been getting a lot of lately.
Yeah, the lost package or delayed package.
Yeah.
Not today.
I feel like they're not even trying very hard. So
they don't need to, right?
Spray and pray.
You just need one.
It's a numbers game.
You just need 1 or 2.
Yeah. Numbers game.
I mean, Michael Bryant, 494253 at gmail.com. This is the USPS. Your package has arrived. Please click on. Yeah.
I worry less about the students and the youth, more so than like the elderly. You know, like old people that actually have money and things to steal, and weren't, you know, just aren't used to being on guard for this kind of thing. So much more susceptible to fall for it, I believe. I mean, I worry about my own parents now.
Yeah.
Don't click that stuff, Dad. It's not real.
I've totally, I've uninstalled every banking application on my mom's phone. So there's no way. The only thing that's on there right now is Safari and
X.
And Facebook.
She's very active on X, Glenn.
Yeah, and YouTube, because she likes to do her prayers on YouTube. So.
She's not on our time. She doesn't have the our time app.
No. Maybe Reddit. Maybe I'll install Reddit for her. She'll be happy.
Okay, because when I talk to my daughter about, you know, what are your peers into, it's always interesting to see what are kids into these days. Is it like Bluey?
Your daughter's 10.
Like Paw Patrol, or you know what the in thing is now, and because she's getting to the age where her peers are starting to get smartphones and smartwatches, and you know, I have my opinions on that. I think a 10-year-old with a smartphone is like digital fentanyl. I think it's a horrible idea, but you know, to each their own. You know, it's your parents, your rules, but they say the thing that the kids are into nowadays is Roblox. Yeah, everybody plays Roblox and Robux, and that's all. Like when we go to kids' birthday parties, we ask the parents, well, what are they into? What's on their wish list? Oh, they just want Robux. That's all they want. They want this Roblox currency. So that's like the end thing. And like, oh, that's getting some of that intel now is the way to craft that perfect phishing lure. Click here for free Robux. Click here for, you know, whatever the kids are into nowadays.
Have you guys heard of the word GURT? G-U-R-T?
That has not entered our lexicon quite yet. What is... Well, I'll let Mark answer. You know what GURT means?
I have no idea.
I'll be honest with you guys. I don't like, so my little brother is always trying to like get on the kids' level, and so he was like, he wants to know what the new slang is, and so my daughter was like, it's GURT, and I forget what it actually means. But my oldest daughter, she's like, oh, it's the circumference around. And like,
oh, girth.
She thought girth, yeah. And it's like, time out, pause. What's going on right here? But like girth was like saying something super smart but super edgy or something like that, or I forget. What are you doing with the shake weight over there, Chris?
99% of what Brian says. Yeah, this definitely has lost some of its potency.
It's definitely lost its pawns, but it still works though.
Yeah, it still works. Still gets the job done. I was invited to my kid's friend's birthday party at a laser tag place, and at this laser tag place, you get to put like a handle, or you get to put like some kind of joke name, like what name shows up on the scoreboard when you're finished. And I got to hand it to this kid. This was very clever and hilarious. He called himself the Rizzler, which I thought was just absolutely hilarious. The Rizzler. And then there's another kid that called himself 360 No Scope. I'm like, oh, it's a nice throwback to my Call of Duty days, the 360 No Scope.
Yeah,
kids are
the Rizzler.
so
Familiar with that one.
The Rizzler is funny though.
Yeah,
Insta-kill.
yeah, kids these days growing up too fast. But anyways, I hope that they do more phishing tests. I think more phishing tests are good, and spreading awareness of the dangers of phishing even at a young age. So for certain people it's too late, I would say, but I would say the compensating control for that, so Mark, for like your parents, my parents, and people's parents, is that the phones tend to get better and or get smarter. So we've done stories about Android, where Android will listen in on a phone call, or they'll scan your text messages, and if there's the telltale signs of some kind of scam, they can warn you or alert you. And same with Apple, like the fast track scam that Glenn's daughter got. Like everybody got it, and fast track had to issue a statement like, this is not us, don't click on anything. Like, it's very specific. It says you must reply, exit, come back in, and then you can click the link. So the link's not immediately clickable. So there's still some friction, some social engineering required, but at least we're, what they call in the industry, we're imposing costs, we're making it harder.
I feel like we should just be doing like just straight actual phishing with our kids instead of handing them a phone.
Instead of the PH phishing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's that, but there's also, like, I can see the benefit, like, Brian, with your son. You could say, let's craft a phishing campaign. Let's learn about offensive security. There's something to be said about that, too.
Hey, you guys mentioned X earlier. Are you guys in mourning that 4chan pretty much got taken down by their own folks?
I thought that was hilarious.
That's crazy.
I didn't dig too deep into it, but the headlines I was seeing, I'm sure they're clickbaity, but the headlines I was seeing was like, some of the admins had @.gov email addresses in there. This is actually run by the intelligence agencies, so they had plants inside of 4chan.
They had.
I did not see any of that. So is 4chan down?
Yeah, it's been dead for like 2 weeks, and don't know that it'll ever come back, which is
Probably a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's some irony in there for sure.
Yeah, who's the other? It's the other image board. I can't remember its name, but they basically started a war, and then 4chan lost.
Was it 8chan or was it like the?
No, it's not 8chan.
No, I don't know. There's some character or something, but they were 4chan people that wanted to turn some board into a bunch of anime, and they got mad, so they started their own board and then went after 4chan and took them out because 4chan's binaries were like 15 years old and hadn't been updated for like some sort of PDF converter. So they uploaded some PDF that gave them admin access, and they just wiped everything out.
Brilliant. What was the other one that like Reddit would use a long time ago?
Dig? Is it Dig?
No, it was like to share the images. Like it was real easy.
Imager.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He didn't ask me anything once on there like years ago. He was talking about it, and he's like, the reality of removing all the CSAM material is like
it's crazy,
so hard. Yeah. It's like that's what happens. You make it easy.
And then Imager went so far as to say no, even like consensual adult content. Like they said no more of that, and then Imager just died after they walked back, because that was like the one thing that they were good at was hosting adult content.
Did they actually die? I thought they were still pretty good. No,
they're good, but they're not as used as like they were in their heyday in terms of like market share.
Imager.
Right, for the last like couple of minutes, I've been trying to find the name of this board that took them down. I cannot find it for the life of me. I remember what it was, but when I recognized it when I heard it. But anyways, I don't think there's any love lost on the 4chan disappearing.
No. But they were iconic. I mean, they were part of the zeitgeist for a long time, you know.
Yeah, they played a big role in, I think, I would say, Scientology takedowns. I think they were one of the biggest trolls for Scientology. And then I think they were the ones, I don't know if they broke it or they definitely fanned the flames of Gamergate when that one came out. They had their place in internet history. We'll see them in the internet history books. Right, for
let's pull our resources and bring it back, guys. We'll buy it.
Do it. For our last topic, it'll be a rotating topic every week. This week, we're going to talk about our predictions for the RSA Security Conference, which is taking place right now. So as this episode releases, the RSA Conference will be in sunny San Francisco, definitely not covered in feces right now. And what will your predictions be for this year? So I would say, I think a couple of years ago it was CASB. Last year I would say it was AI. Last 2 years I would say it's AI everything. I think it was like first it was integrate AI as much as you can, and then I think last year was like AI security, secure all of the AIs. What do you think the theme for 2025 will be?
Enterprise browsers.
all three of them, yeah.
In the corners of the Moscone Center. I think you're right. AI will probably be big, and then post-quantum will probably be big again. I just have to imagine.
Yeah.
Maybe some cybersecurity burnout, like some sort of consolidation play type of phrase. I'm thinking, and then that's probably about it.
Do you think it'll be bigger or smaller than last year in terms of number of vendors there?
I mean, they had both the North and South open again, so we'll see.
Yeah,
I'll be hanging out in the fringes, so that's for sure.
North, South, and the middle, right? There's
the tunnel that connects to them. Mark, have you ever been to RSA?
I have never been.
Never been. Okay, it's a sight to be seen for sure.
I think it's too crowded and not for me though. Just too many people.
It is a zoo. Like it is almost like it is a zoo. It's hard to walk. Tons of people. Mediocre food.
Mediocre. In the event, yes.
Even if you go outside, like it's crazy. Like trying to get lunch at lunch hour around Moscone, like forget it.
Yeah,
the
you have
Starbucks
to go
line.
outside. Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. But
well, if you haven't been to
RSA, it's
RSA,
always challenging.
if you haven't been to RSA, Mark, you still think what's your cybersecurity prediction that all the companies are going to be doing this year?
That's a good question. I mean, I certainly think AI. I love Brian's quantum thing because now you see that.
Yeah, PQC.
Yeah, I mean they're cracking everything, all of the encryption and everything with quantum computers now, and record time. I think they said that China has done it in under 10 seconds or something crazy. So that's something to be concerned about, I think.
Yeah, I think
I would love to see it happen.
They've cracked weak keys, like I want to say 40-bit key,
Yeah,
maybe.
that's
They definitely
that's right.
haven't cracked anything nowhere near what
Yeah.
2048 what we have as the standard today. Like they have the proof of concept. If the key strength is not strong, that it's doable. Now, it doesn't scale linearly. Thankfully, that just because they can crack 40-bit doesn't mean they're 1/20th the way to 2048. So now we got some time, thankfully.
Wouldn't it be cool though to have a live demo? Like, all right, here's my computer, and here is Twitter. I have no idea. I'm gonna post something. It's secure. We're gonna do a replay attack right here using post quantum. And even though it has TLS 1.3 and ephemeral keys, it just it crushes it, and it just shows you the thing like in Wireshark. That'd be pretty rad. That day's gonna be wild.
and it was all driven by AI.
We'll get there.
No,
we'll get there.
AI is just good for taking AOC and Trump and having them make out. Like that's what we do with AI. Just
That is what we
inappropriate.
do with AI.
Yeah.
Brian likes to mess with people in our group chat and make fake AI videos of us.
No kidding.
I don't know if it was fake. I thought you and Victor making out. So.
My prediction for this year, I think it'll be austerity measures.
Austerity.
Yeah, I think there'll be a focus on cost cutting. Like, buy our tool, will save you money, or consolidate tools, and this is how much you'll save. Because at least here in the U.S., especially in federal government, there's consolidation plays. There's budget cuts. It's no secret. There's budget cuts left and right, and I've heard it on practically every single Fortune 500 earnings call. They talk about the macro environment, the economy shrinking, and people being price conscious, and what they're going to do about that. So I think cost cutting and pricing will be a focus this year, maybe more so than in previous years.
Well, that goes back to
Be interesting.
my last one. I thought, yeah, the cybersecurity burnout.
Yeah. But definitely AI. I think both of you already said it. It'll be focused on AI. I think AI agents actually more so this year. Not just like add AI to your SOC your SOC team. It's going to be actual agents that will be doing the work and doing specific tasks and automating things. I think that actually AI for cost cutting. That might be the play this year.
Yeah, I think, is it Agenic? What was it called last year? Check my notes. Yeah, Agenic AI. So it's supposed to be agents running around that are just AI doing stuff and making your life better.
Yeah, I know Salesforce is really pushing that. I think they had like 3 Super Bowl commercials this year about AI agents.
I can't remember. Do you guys remember how many people that attended last year? Was it 40,000 or was it close to 40,000? But it was a drop.
It was half,
significantly though. From
I think it's 30.
It hasn't been as much as it used to be.
Yeah, I think at its peak it was probably about 50, and I think last year I want to say it was like 30.
Yeah. Do you think it'll be bigger or smaller less this year?
Hard to say. I if I was a betting man, I would say smaller.
Yeah, I say smaller as well.
Why?
What do you guys think, Brian? Why? I think cost cutting. I'm hearing a lot of I don't think we're going to make it this year.
Yeah, a lot of companies, they're cutting down on corporate travel, cutting down on marketing, sponsorships, trying to save money that way.
Yeah,
I think
a lot of folks are still trying to rationalize the actual advantage of attending RSA as well, right?
Yeah, I think attendees
Well, I think we've
burned out on
we had to
attending
have
all
really
of
good
this
talks,
stuff.
but I also think one of the reasons why it'd probably be less is because I was just in Vancouver, and Canada is openly there's we're not. It's like a travel ban. We're as a nation, no one's traveling to the U.S.
Yeah,
I was inviting people to see them live in Vegas. They're like, "Well, we'll see you in Prague." I'm like, "Oh, okay, great." But I get it,
Yeah.
So I think that's going to hurt him. I don't know how many people normally would come in from Canada, but I don't know. What do we think? A couple thousand?
Yeah. Victor and his cohorts.
Yeah. So last year RSA had 41,000 people. I'm going to say it's going to be more this year.
Or
I say it's going to be about 35. I think it's going to be 35.
35. All right.
I'll say 30. This is Price is Right rules. The closest without going over.
Oh, jeez.
$1.
$1 Bob. Mark's taking the under with the $1 Bob.
All right. Are we putting this on Kalshi? We're going to bet on this.
I should have a Kalshi bet. Well, if anyone attends and listens to this in time, at least 2 of us will be there. 3 of us will be there one of these days. Come find us. Let's have a chat.
So, Glenn, you'll be there? You leaving? You gotta go bye-bye? Oh, you do.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, Glenn. Love you.
I'll be in San Francisco, so won't be attending RSA, but I'll be in San Francisco.
I'll be there.
All
I'll be
right.
looking for you.
Come find us.
Cheers.
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 We continue to get great comments about our dad joke of the week.
Dad joke of the week.
This week, our guest Mark is up.
Guys, what do you get when you cross an elephant and a rhinoceros?
What's that, Mark?
Elephino. Elephino.
Hell if I know.
That's a good one, dad joke. Wah, wah, wah. All right, to wrap things up, TikTok's algorithm can be influenced. Don't log into personal accounts on corporate devices, and watch out for that silent stroker. Students do better on phishing tests than corporate workers, and look for cost cutting this year at RSA. That's all I have for this week. Hope you enjoyed this week's episode. You can find us on LinkedIn. Links will be in the description. Follow us on Instagram at PEBCAK Podcast. Thank you to our listeners and subscribers. Rate us 5 stars in the iTunes Store and Spotify, and left us a review. We appreciate you all spreading the word to help grow the show. The best way to find us is to search for the PEBCAK Podcast in your favorite podcast listening app. My co-hosts Brian Deach and Glenn Medina, and our guest Mark Lee. I'm Chris Louie. Thanks for listening. We'll see you all next week, and as always, have a nice day.
Bye, Felicia.
Have a nice day.